We're going to go into the demo of the application portal. So for this, if you head over to mhcbs.co.uk, could I just check you can see the online screen? Thank you, thumbs up. This is our website. It's got information about the service. You can see all sorts of information, any events and guidance and frequently asked questions. But for the purpose of now, you want to click Start an Application. That is the same way to log in as well. This will take you to our portal. So here you can access a number of help articles. You can search as well along the way. So if I search eligibility, it brings back anything that's got that word within it. So eligibility criteria is just there, and it's a reminder for everyone. For the purposes of now, I'm going to log in. So you enter your email address and click login. What that will do is it will send an email to the email address if you're signed up with a 6-digit one-time password. So that's just come across to my inbox. You paste in the 6 digits. It's valid for 10 minutes. So it is time bound. You click verify and you are logged into our portal. When you are logged in, again, you can still access the help articles and any recent ones that have been added. If you are an NPOC and you are responsible for confirming crisis treatment, interval checks is where you want to head. So if I click on that for a moment, these are, as you can imagine, test applications, but these are all the ones outstanding where I am an NPOC. To process it, what you need to do is just click on the name. That will bring back the name of the individual. That's our internal case reference. But where you're drawn to is this right-hand side drop-down where you have the option to confirm to continue or confirm to end. Confirm to continue means they are still in mental health crisis treatment and receiving that, and therefore you are extending it for effectively another run, which is 30 days, and you just press confirm. That will be done. You can go back to your interval checks. It's now disappeared for me. And similarly, if we wanted to end one, you would just put confirm to end, and then all we require is the treatment end date. So normally the date they were discharged. So if I was to say the 5th of August and confirm, that will now process it as a confirm to end, and this individual will be exited out of the scheme. Important to note, when you tell us it's confirmed to end, from the date you enter, they receive 30 days as a cooling off period. So that gives them a chance to get back into more normal day-to-day life before creditors and so forth might start chasing them. I'm just going to run through a new application. So if you click on apply for MHCBS, I appreciate some of you will be very familiar with this, but we have made some changes in the last couple of weeks that will make it look slightly different. So when you apply, you will always be asked this question. So are you the debtor who's applying themselves, you're applying on behalf of someone else as their authorized representatives, or you're looking for more information? So I'm going to click on the second one. It will ask me what type. So if I go with mental health nurse, and then we just capture the trust for reporting purposes, you click next. Some information, but ultimately click next. And this is where you'll start to see some changes now. So before it used to be down the left-hand side, it's moved across the top. So we start to enter the information of the applicant or the client, effectively, the person you are looking after. Date of birth. So we'll put some fake details in. I wish I was 2000, but I'm not. You click next. What that will do, there was a brief pause there and it was doing a check. If you've already submitted an application with that name, it will come back to you and let you know so that we don't receive duplicate applications. But for now, that was a brand new. If you have further details, so middle name, email address, or mobile phone, you're welcome to enter that in of the client. Otherwise, it's just the address, city, postcode, and house number. You'll see this has been split out. We were receiving a lot of applications where we weren't getting the house name and number. So previously it used to be all merged in, but there is a new box now specifically for house name or number. A question around if there's any violence against them. If you do tick yes, we encourage you to enter as much information as possible into the box. We do have to check that before we process it, that it is correct. But for the purposes of now, I will just put no. In this additional information box that you can see at the bottom of the page, we would encourage you to enter as much information about the person's debts. So anything you're aware of, anything they've told you, if they're with the landlord's name, amounts if you've got it, but you can enter as much as possible in there. It really helps us process the application. We do run credit checks when we come to checking the application. However, the more you can provide, the easier it is for us. So you can do whichever way. You can do line break, etc., etc. You click next. These are my details. So obviously, because I've already got an account, it automatically puts this information in. So again, you're not having to re-enter that if you're familiar with doing it via paper. This is the AMP's detail. So for now, I will use my colleagues' details. And what local authority. This is really important that you get the email address right. Obviously, when we click submit, it will send an email for that DocuSign element. Then you've got the information about the NPOC, so who will be the NPOC for the case. If you are the NPOC logged in filling out the form, you can just see a checkbox here where it says, I'm going to be the nominated point of contact for this case. If you tick that, it will skip that section. If it's not yourself, for example, you're the AMP filling it out and you want to put the NPOC's details in, you're more than welcome to. Again, email address is really crucial because we will need that to validate it, and a telephone number, often office numbers, but mobile phone numbers, etc., and then what their role is. Slightly further down, you can see there is a secondary nominated point of contact. This is really important. We have a lot of NPOCs who are often on leave, especially this time of the year with holiday season. So if you could put a secondary NPOC or your duty manager, for example, your line manager, that really helps us when we do our interval checks, because we will contact them as well if their information is provided. So again, it is optional. You can tick the no secondary NPOC available. Otherwise, we would recommend you to fill it out, just so we can, if you're ever on leave or off sick or anything else, we've got a point of contact to reach to. Then that's the end. So I'm going to press submit. What happens now is that goes off to the AMP. So it is a time job. It doesn't happen instantly. But within what happens behind the scenes is it will create the PDF, the form, the manual form that you're familiar with. And it will then send it via something we call CongaSign, which is equivalent of DocuSign. It will go to the AMP. The AMP then logs in, signs it, and then once it's been signed off, it comes back into us to be processed. Other parts of the portal, if you have started an application and then you got stuck halfway through and couldn't complete it, if you click on applications, there will be applications loaded here in the incomplete application section, and any applications you have submitted will appear in the submitted applications. We do have a bit of a catch-all. So the one I've just done isn't showing because until the AMP signs it, it won't appear here. However, we are looking at that with our tech team. And that's effectively the portal. So we've gone through what a live application looks like, your interval checks in terms of if you're an NPOC and continuing to do that, and help articles as well, should you need any information. If there is anything on the portal that you're not happy with, it's not clear, please do contact us at support@mhcbs.co.uk, and we will do our best to try and resolve those issues along the way.